So you've heard about the weekly and the daily bias, right? So you want to know how to use it, or you already know how to use it. So I'm going to give you guys a practical example on one or two instruments so that you can further understand it. How do I get my daily bias? How do I get my weekly bias? Remember, in all the teachings I've showed you guys here, I've told you the types of traders, and the breakdowns we do are top-down analysis. So weekly is for a certain type of traders, daily is for a certain type of trader. So today we're going to know if you're a daily trader, intraday, and below scalping and the rest, how do I get my bias? How do I get what I'm going to focus on that day? Bias means what to focus on. You're inclining or you're facing one side. So am I going to buy today? Am I going to sell? Am I looking for buys? I'm looking for sales. What about weekly traders? Those people hold trades for some days, some weeks, longer period of time. How am I going to use weekly to get my bias that am I going to buy during that period? I'm going to sell during that period. That's what I'm going to do today. So as usual, today allow me to start from monthly, because monthly gives us a direction. Then we shall go down monthly, weekly, daily. That's our procedure of doing analysis, right? So I'm going to start with USDJPY, and this is analysis. Current market. Remember, we said that we shall be posting topics, but most of the times we're going to be breaking down the market using what we have learned. So when we go down to the monthly time frame, I've spoken about USDJPY for like a couple of times. And I told you guys that when you look at monthly, we're on a downtrend, a very clear downtrend. You can clearly observe here the market has made a low, it has made a high, it has made a low, it has made a high, it has made a low. But in the process of making these lows, this low was tested, broke down, retested. This low here was tested. So, sorry, this low was not tested. This one here was tested, but this one here was not tested. So there's a higher chance the market is actually coming to test this level before maybe possibly coming back down, right? That's what we are having direction-wise. So then we zoomed inside. I'm just going to attach the previous video. Those who didn't watch it before this movement happening on USDJPY. We talked about it. We said that we needed the market to come back and retest. This is inside structure here, which is what exactly the market did here. Let me just increase for you to see. You can see here we had this W neckline here. If you know the rules of W that we have taught here, we say that if the market creates a W, breaking this turning point, which we call a neckline, we expect the market to come and retest it. Unless this is an impulsive move, then we can use fib. But if it's not so much of an impulse, like this one is not an impulsive move, the market had to come back and test this level before rejecting upwards. Now, and currently what do we observe? Remember our long-term movement direction-wise, we have seen that we're supposed to go and test a certain level upwards. So we're still going up. Now, currently, what is the market doing? Let me just delete it. So currently, what's the market doing? The market currently is attempting to break above this area here, right? So the month is still on. I think the month is going to close on Tuesday or Monday, Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, around there. Then we start a new month. So if the month closes above here, we know that we have a support level that we're showing that we are actually going to continue upwards, right? So it's what we want the month to do. Then our first threat will be up here, right? That's the direction. Now, when you come down to the weekly time frame, now this is where I'm going to talk about bias from. Now, when you come to the time frame which you use to get your structure, for example, weekly and daily, whatever level or mark you've put in the monthly time frame, make sure you adjust it in the weekly time frame. For example, in this case, we don't have anything to adjust here because it's aligning perfectly with what we have drawn in the monthly time frame. So I'm just going to adjust it here like this to make our chart neat. So we have this is our target. This is our target, but we go from monthly. Then also we have a turning point that has been broken, and the market shows that it retested, though this is an improper retest. So at a later date, the market may have to come and retest it. So far, we have this as our resistance, this as our support, meaning that if the direction is bullish, meaning that we're looking for where to buy from. Are you getting it? We're looking for where to buy for. That's we're getting the bias. What do we want to get that we're going to be trading for that period of time until we hit this target, right? So weekly is saying that we're at support level currently, and there's a higher chance that we're going up. But previously also, weekly states that we had a higher that the market rejected. I'm just going to mark it here, that the market rejected. Let me just change the color to purple to differentiate weekly and monthly. That the month rejected to come and test this area. So currently we are at that level there. So if we break above it and it becomes support, then we are continuing upwards. So since you missed this area here to take a buy from here, right? Of course, we're headed here. If you missed here, what do you want to see? Whether you want to see a slight pullback, then we push upwards, or we want to see the market breaking and closing above this area here in our entry time frame, then we can take our trade up to this area here. So if you're using weekly for structure, you already mapped out your structure. But don't forget that you're supposed to first complete the alignment. You're supposed to come to the daily time frame and check. What is it true that what I've marked in weekly? Yes, it is true, because also in daily, we're having that this is a resistance, the market rejected. When the market came back into this very area here, I'll just mark an area here. When the market came back into this area, I'll just make it green to easily identify it as a daily. So when the market was rejected here, it came back, it was rejected. Again, currently we are here. And I want you to observe something. The market is actually creating double bottoms, but it's not yet complete until we close above here. Now, we have a very interesting situation whereby this purple line, we marked it in weekly, and this green level here, we have marked it in daily, meaning that this area here is aligning with weekly and daily. So meaning that this is a resistance now, but for us to match with our monthly direction, which is to go upwards, what do we want the market to do? We want price to break above here. It will be perfect for those who are holding on for a long period of time, especially those who are using the weekly time frame to get structure. If the daily candle closes above here, then on the retest of this level here, then you can take your trade up there. Now, for those who do intraday, even if it is just during the day and the market, maybe a bigger time frame like H4, a bigger than your entry time frame. Of course, we know that daily our entry time frame is H1, weekly our entry time frame is H4. So a bigger time frame than your entry time frame, which is H4, if it can close above here on the retest, a daily trader can take a trade targeting between 20 to 80 pips. So this is how we get our bias. And you can clearly see that, sorry, let me just adjust this. You can clearly see that you've not had very, very many things marked on your chart. It's just as clear as this, very, very simple. You don't need to complicate, because if you make many things or many markings and drawings on your chart, you're most likely going to get confused by which decision you should make. So you can clearly see that you can get the weekly bias and daily bias by simply doing this top-down analysis, right? So we have spoken about USDJPY when it was down here, how we expect a retracement, how it pushed up, and we expect it to come and test here. Just like I mentioned, I'm going to attach the videos. We talked about this impulse, and if it had broken above, a correction here, and then we can push up. And again, we are here at the current price. When the market opens and we break above, daily closes above, on the retest, you can swing it up to here. If H4 closes above this area, weekly momentum retest, then you can take your trade for 20 to 80 pips for those who do intraday and who use the daily a time frame for getting your structure, right? So this is the first example with USDJPY. Let's go to the second example. I think let me use the things that I'm going to trade this week. I'm already in a swing of gold, me and the team, but let's just do how you can get a bias in case you're not into that trade or you do intraday, right? So let's look at gold. As usual, let's first get the direction, then we can get the bias. Now, when you come to the direction-wise, when you come to direction, overall, we want the market to come and test some untested levels here, right? We have some untested levels that are not properly tested down here, that gold, at least we expect it to come and test. It's not a must, of course, but at least should come and test. And we know that the area in which gold rejected from, it was a previous resistance here, previous resistance, previous resistance. Of course, the momentum while coming down is not strong. It means that overall, those people who position trade gold is still bullish, right? So, but for us, we don't have that kind of capital to hold very long, and most of us are doing intraday and some mid-term swing trading, right? So which immediate turning point do we have? We have this immediate turning point here. I'm also going to mark it. If you cannot see these turning points, you can use the line chart. You can see this is the turning point I'm talking about here, which we expected the market to come and test, right? So direction-wise, we are bullish overall long term, but we need the market to give us a push down before we can continue the bullish movement, right? Now, let's just go back the candlestick. So when I come down to the weekly, where we start getting our structure from. Now, the previous video that we just posted before this one, what did we talk about? We talked about levels, right? So the market created for us an M here and retested, right? So I'm just going to keep marking the levels for you. The market broke this level downwards and came and retested it. Which turning point gave us that retest area? It was this turning point here, this one. The market made this low, turned from here to go and retest here, then came and made a new low, right? Now, in the process of making a new low, what do you expect for it to retest this level here? then continues down, right? But what the market do? The market instead, it went and tested these equal highs here. It went and tested these equal highs here, and then it came and reacted. Yeah, it showed that this level is important, went back up here, and then finally broke down. So meaning that where we are, like we have marked this purple line here, is a very strong level because it's a turning point even we have seen in monthly, right? Where we are is a very strong level that could easily push the price down. But the best thing that we want the price to do is at least to grab liquidity and tempt people to buy into this resistance here before going down. But I'll tell you the disadvantage with that is this area here in daily. So if you're doing, you get your structures and you want to get your buyers from the weekly time frame, you swing. This is the area that is very, very favorable for us. This area here, where the price is between this area and this green level, this area here. We want to look for change of trend now into time frame here before we can continue down. Are you getting it? So that's what we have in weekly. Also in weekly, if you want, you can add on this level here, this turning point, which the market, this area here, some of you call it order block, this area here where the market is, right? So we have so far touched the tip of it, but wanted to make a deeper test in it, right? You can also add on this level here. So when you go down to the daily time frame, let's see if it actually matches with this. So I'm just going to delete this level here in daily. So when you come down to the daily time frame, what do we observe? Let me just delete this. What is the area that you want to take your trade from? Now, starting from here, what did the market do? I spoke about gold here. I said that we wanted gold to come, react onto this level, and then break it, retest, and it comes down, right? But now it has already happened. Now, what do you want to, where do you want to trade from this coming week? Or where are you going to get from your buyers from the daily time frame in case you're a daily trader? What we observe here is clear. The momentum is not so strong, but we do observe the market is making low, lower high, tested. Low, lower high. But this area here was not tested. So you can also mark this area, which aligns perfectly with the weekly level that we saw. And also another thing that you can clearly observe here is the market tested this area here, but it's not a convincing test. We need the market to stretch a bit and test here before continuing down. Are we together? So still just like weekly saying that this area here, between this area here, as the market is struggling here, we need the market to grab liquidity, reject, and then continues down. But what we're so much interested in is the market should not close above this area here, this level. Let me just mark it for you. The moment the market goes above here, it's not good. I'll just mark it here. The market should not go above here. Remember, we have said overall gold is bullish. So the moment it goes above here, it means that it is actually changing structure to continue upwards, right? So for now, for us to complete up our direction downwards to this level and even the lower one that we have marked in the monthly time frame, we need gold to struggle here, then gives us a change of trend now into time frames, then we can sell up to down here. So in this case, which are our areas of interest? We're interested in this area here. We saw even in weekly. Then we also have this level here where we are currently, and you can clearly see we have an order block here that is currently tightly holding price. The first day here, second day, even the third day. So we expect the market, I spoke about this, to come and make us a small push down, then maybe comes into this area and rejects to create for us a double top before we can drop down. I repeat this, the market should not close above this area. The moment it closes above this area, it's not good, right? So that is it for gold and USDJPY. I hope you guys have gotten how you can get your buyers where you want to trade from. Don't have very many things on your chart, just a few things, so that decision making is so much easier for you, right? So even if you go to entry time frame like H4, you can clearly see the market is currently still bullish. You can't want to sell from here. It will be very, very funny and you'll be trapped. High, low, higher high, higher low. So the market should easily finish, touch into this area here, then maybe a change for us trend and start trending downwards. Before a change of trend, do not take your trades, even if it has touched your area of interest, or what you guys call point of interest, right? So I hope this really made sense to you and you can utilize it. I wish you guys a profitable week. Have a